I see people are beginning to come on. Beach Runner, thanks for joining us. Knife Party, thanks for joining us. So my name is Carmen Chu. I'm San Francisco's elected assessor, and today I'm so excited to be able to bring to you our next series on our Cooking with Carmen series. One of the reasons why we started to do this series was really to be able to continue to celebrate APA Heritage Month, even with us being under a shelter-in-place order in the Bay Area. It's so important for us to recognize the accomplishments of our APA community, but also to, at this time, really try to help our local small businesses. So many of our businesses are struggling or are working really hard to try to help support each other and the community at the same time that they are facing a lot of restrictions. So we're really, really excited to be able to highlight, again, our talent, but also figure out a way to connect community to our rising stars and some of our local favorite eats. And so one of our super, super local favorite eats, which I can attest to because you guys have a taco truck that used to be, or like a truck in front of City Hall, is Señor Sisig. So today we're here with Chef Gil. Hi.
Hey guys.
He's got his gloves on. We're gonna get started in just a moment, but again, I just want to thank Chef Gil for joining us, and I'm gonna read a quick bio so folks get to know him a little bit, and then we're gonna get kind of rolling not only on cooking, but kind of hearing more from him about his thoughts about APA Heritage Month, but also how he got his start. So what I can tell you is this about Chef Gil. So I don't know if folks know, but he was actually born in San Francisco's Sunset District. That's actually the neighborhood that I live in right now, and was raised in San Francisco, but also in Daly City. He currently lives in Oakland, but he met his business partner, Evan, back in high school. So he grew up learning how to cook from his family. His dad and his uncle had a restaurant, so he helped out there. Actually, I grew up also in the restaurant business, so I know exactly what that is like. And his mom was an entrepreneur, owned a supermarket, and he grew up also helping to stock shelves. So I didn't know that about you. I think that's awesome. He is inspired by his parents' work ethics, which I can identify with. And I think especially the struggles that so many of our immigrant families have as they come to the U.S. and really get their footing here. So we want to hear so much about Gil's past, but also know that, it's just Señor Sisig is so yum. So I'm so excited to hear more about kind of how you got your start and what it is that, what really kind of inspires you to keep on kind of growing, because, I know you started off with a food truck, but you also have like a storefront now in San Francisco. And so you're continuing to expand and continuing to grow. And I know that takes a lot of energy and a lot of passion. So tell us a little bit of how you got started and, what kind of continues to inspire you to grow and to develop more.
Yeah, so all started with, of course, I came from the hotel and restaurant industry. I went to school at California Culinary Academy in SF. And during that time, my goal was to get into the industry and just go around and get more experience, to kind of climb the corporate ladder. To be executive chef or own my own restaurant. So during that time, after I got out of school, worked in a couple hotels, and one of my good friends, Evan Cadera, I went to school with him in Westmore High School in Daly City. He pulled me to the side and said, "Hey, I got this idea of opening up a business, a food truck." And during that time, I was, I had a steady job. I kind of had my plans set out, but at the same time, I thought about it. He kind of said, like, "Hey, man, don't you want to be more creative and kind of be your own boss and control, utilize your skills and control, your destiny." So after that, Evan's been doing a lot of traveling and been going to LA, New York, and kind of studying food. And he came from a food background also. So we met, and he kind of said, like, "Hey, I don't know what to do. I'm not a chef. I'm not a cook. But, what do you think?" And kind of we talked about it a little bit and talked about concepts. But I was like, "Hey, we should do sisig tacos and do Filipino food and mix it up with something different so it's not, traditional, get it to the masses." And he was up for that. And I think ever since then, after a year of planning and talking about it, I quit my job. That first of all, that was scary because, you're leaving an opportunity, and you kind of had your future set and somewhat. But yeah, he pulled me and kind of told me to like, hey, let's do this, and if it doesn't work, we know we kind of tried. So
Yeah.
I think me and Evan's relationship was strong ever since high school, and it became stronger and stronger. And I respect him enough for him to pull me and kind of pick me out of a group of friends that we had and say like, hey, Gil's a stand-up guy. He's a hard worker. I know he's going to be good to partner with. And I know that's not easy opening up a business.
Yeah.
So after that, we started with the first truck. We ran the first event, and ever since then, we're up to 6 trucks and have a restaurant.
But I mean, the one thing that you said earlier that really resonates with me is that it takes a lot of bravery, I think, to open a business of your own, because
Yeah.
You're putting a lot on the line, like your savings, your time, your energy, all of that to try to make something go and work, right? And so
Yeah.
and I think especially like it's hard kind of being in the restaurant business also, because sometimes the margins, it's not really that much, right? And you work really hard to do it and all of that. So I mean, do you remember kind of what that first initial feeling was like when you were first opening, and like how did you kind of like get past that, and what kind of kept you going?
I mean, I had a head start with the food side. Of course, the business side, that's going to be my business partner, Evan's strong point.
Yeah.
We kind of have, to this day, we have that separation of like, hey, you're more of the food side, and I'm more of growing the business, and we could handle our responsibilities in that way. I wasn't too nervous. I think I was more nervous about the decision I made. I mean, the working part of it, that's usually what I do, and I'm comfortable with that. But again, if you're switching up your goals and your future and deciding you want to take this other route, that was definitely nerve-wracking. But with the support of Evan, my family, my loved ones, and I think it helped me kind of push through and kind of just put my head down and keep on going.
Yeah. So I want to, when we talked earlier, I learned so much about kind of the things that you're doing, especially during COVID-19. And I know you guys have been great with being able to continue your food service and everything, which is wonderful. But you guys are also doing a lot for the community too. So I wonder if you might spend a little bit of time telling us about the foundation you guys started and what that's all about.
Yeah. So the foundation's called Sisig for the People. We're working with the City Eats. Shout out to City Eats. And our goal is $100,000 to serve the families or people in need, and it takes everybody to give donations, and all this information is on our website. You can donate through our website, and actually we give gifts after every donation you give after $100. So you get a free 10th anniversary T-shirt. Also, we're trying to give back if people are giving to us, and I think it's a win-win.
Yeah.
All across the board, we're feeding families in need, and also we're also putting giving our employees work, and that's another important thing, to feed their families. So both ways, we're trying to target the unfortunate people and also our employees that are in need of or more extra work, since we are during this pandemic. It's been hard to keep up with business.
Yeah. No, and I think that's a great point, because I think for a lot of people who are out there and who have the ability to, they're trying to figure out like, how do I support our local businesses and how do I support people who are in need, right? And so I think definitely from my point of view, if folks can support our local businesses like Señor Sisig and ordering there if you can for like a lunch or a dinner, that always is helpful to kind of keep people working and keep people employed. But I think to your point also, it's about also understanding how blessed we all are to be able to continue doing this, and then figuring out like, how do we give back to the folks who don't have the same resources. And I think it's a beautiful thing to be able to kind of like make sure that we're continuing to feed people in need. But you're right, it's not even just that, it's also about like keeping your workers employed and making sure that they have a way to keep on surviving too, right? So I really appreciate it. Yeah. Tell us again what the website is and how to get there.
So our website is seniorsisig.com. And all the information's on there. There should be a donate button. All the information's on there. Who we donate to. What do? We do about 200 to 300 meals a week.
Wow.
Depending how much how much funds are getting in. I think we're up to, I believe, 18,000 right now. And we're continuing to do this every single week. Again, it's a mixture of our original operation with the trucks and the restaurant, but also where a quarter of it is doing these donations.
Yeah. Do you you've also done a lot of work with local artists, I think, right?
Yeah. We this apron's from, I mean, the design's from Aaron Kai. We do collaboration with Kuya George. There's a lot of people that we work with. We try to kind of, not only in the restaurant, but our merch. We try to kind of spread the love and kind of work with all the artists around the Bay Area, especially the local ones, and you need help too. I think that's a big part. And food and kind of being an artist is kind of the same thing. You could be creative and kind of put your, you know, your ideas on a shirt or
Yeah.
on a canvas, and we could put it on a plate or a compostable plate that what we do. So yeah.
Was there ever like a creative dish that you made that you were like, oh, that's not gonna work?
I mean, yeah, but I'm not going to put it out there. You know, of course, my people that try it out is, I think my toughest critic is my wife. She'll tell me straight up if it's good or not. And you know, she comes from a family of chefs. Her dad's a chef also. Also my dad, my parents, I think they're a little bit more lenient, but I know in the back of their head, you know, they know it's, you know, if it's not good, they're going to tell me straight up.
I know it's like having like a built-in taste testers for you guys, huh?
Yeah, of course.
So what are we eating today?
So today I'm making a traditional Filipino dish. I mean, it's more like an appetizer. It's called okoy. It's basically a shrimp fritter. Pretty easy to make. I mean, the components are pretty simple, and I could go through it pretty quickly. I got all the stuff chopped up and all measured out, so all we're going to be doing is putting it together. The recipe should be on your handle, Carmen, and
Yep.
also we'll be posting it on our website and our media stuff. So,
Yeah. So everybody, just so you know, you're gonna see a mouth-watering demonstration of this fritter coming together from Chef Gil, and you're gonna want to make it yourself. So we're gonna make sure to share the recipe and all of the ingredients that come along with it, and then hopefully you'll have a hand at it and try it for yourself. But with that, show us what you've got there.
sure, I'm going to switch the camera a little bit lower so you guys can see. So first we're going to have, so it comes with shrimp. You could also use, you know, vegan stuff like tofu, or you don't even have to put the shrimp in there. So the first thing we're going to be doing, we're going to be taking some 1620 peeled and clean shrimp. What I did is
1620, is that a size?
yeah, 1620 is the size, a little bit larger size prawn. And the reason why I get the larger shrimp, so it kind of sticks out in the fritter, and you're not missing any, you know, bites of the shrimp at all. So
Yes.
what I did, I sliced it in half, just so I could distribute it in the batter and we could fry it completely. So first I'm going to marinate it. I'm going to put some salt and pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put a little fish sauce just to get a little bit of flavor. We don't want your shrimp to be bland or anything.
Yeah.
It's just a quick marinade. I'm gonna go ahead and put that aside. Then the next thing we're gonna do is make our batter while this is sitting and marinating. And behind me right now, I have my oil kind of heating up slowly, so we could be ready to fry in the next 5 to 10 minutes.
What do you like frying with? Do you use like vegetable oil, corn oil? Does it-
I'm using vegetable oil with a mixture of grapeseed oil. It doesn't get that hot. But the most important thing I think is a cast iron pan. If you don't have that, you could use your wok, whatever you feel comfortable in.
Got it.
All
Javier,
right.
hi Tito.
Hey guys. All right, first I'm going to take all the dry ingredients. I'm going to take 1 cup of cornstarch. And I'm going to have a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour.
Oh, wow.
So this is just a basic batter. And also we have 1 egg that's beaten.
What is there any magic to like the ratio of cornstarch to the flour?
Well, in this situation, you put more cornstarch just because it binds well together.
Okay.
Then you put less of the AP flour.
Does it make
And
it
in
crispier too?
yeah, crispier. It's kind of like a tempura.
Okay.
And a lot of in Asian cooking, they use a lot of cornstarch just to to kind of make batters and stuff. It's almost similar to a tempura batter, so it's pretty familiar. So next is
Bunny says that she or he is going to make this for their next family party.
All right. Let us know if you need some help.
Yeah.
So next we have some ice water.
Okay.
Are we going to be putting in the batter? This is just going to combine everything together. And the trick to having good batter and to make your batter kind of crispy is put a couple of ice cubes in there. So it's really, really cold. Or you could stick the batter in the fridge just to keep cool. So once it hits the oil, it gets really, really crispy.
Oh, wow. That's a good tip.
So I'm just going to stir this together once it gets all combined. And say your batter is a little bit too thick, you could always add a little bit more water. Don't be afraid to tweak a little bit. The good thing about cooking is cooking, you could always, add stuff. It's a different story when you're baking, so that's not really my strong point. So
you never know. That might be your next thing.
Yeah, you never know. All right, since we got the batter all together, I'll be adding all the vegetables and the shrimp. First, we're going to start with some shredded carrots, about a cup. You could shred this yourself, or finely julienne them, or you could buy them in the market, already shredded. It'll be easier. So you're going to put that in. Also, you have some bean sprouts. All this stuff you could buy in the Asian market. Sometimes most of the other markets should be fine. I mean, bean sprouts is pretty well known.
Yeah.
So I got a cup and a half of bean sprouts.
So Chef Gil, what's your guilty pleasure? What's the thing that you like to eat the most?
Well, there's this thing, this Filipino dish called crispy pata, and I know all the Filipinos out there will know that, and I call it the heart attack special. But
oh no!
I know. I mean, just because it's pork, it's crispy. It's basically a deep fried pork leg. It's a deep fried pork leg knuckle.
Oh,
so what they do is they boil it for a couple hours so it can get tender. All the gelatinous and all the fat kind of renders out, and they cool it down overnight, and they stick it in the deep fryer.
Oh wow!
So after that, you have this. After you kind of deep fry it for about 10 to 15 minutes, it becomes really crispy. You dip it in vinegar and have a side of rice.
Oh wow! Wow.
So it's definitely not for the people that are kind of like health conscious, and that's why, I guess, why you call it the guilty pleasure, right?
Yeah, I like anything fried for me is good. French fries, fried wonton, fried egg roll, fried meat, fried chicken,
So once we have that together, we're gonna add the shrimp, and I also have some green onions.
Wow, so it's really coming together there, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. I don't think you could mess it up too much. Again, all you have to do is incorporate all the ingredients.
Wow.
And the key to this is not to overmix. I think with making batters and frying stuff with batters, not to overmix your batter, and that's the trick of it. So
what happens when it's overmixed?
So it doesn't get as crispy. It's just the consistency is going to be a little bit off. So that's done. I'm going to move you guys to the side so I can throw it in the pan.
Awesome. So there's a lot of folks who've joined. I want to say hi to Kathy, my friend from LA. She's like tuning in from all the way down south out there with her boys. Someone says Payumo clan. I think that might be your
yeah. That's probably hundreds of my families tuning in.
Well, see, they're lucky because they get to try all of your food.
Yeah, they're probably like, oh, whatever. He makes that all the time. All right, so what you're going to do is kind of get a spoonful, get like a large serving spoon or something, and you're just going to put like probably little 3-inch diameter fritters into the oil.
Do you guys serve this at the restaurant too, or are your food trucks?
No, I mean, this is a Filipino-based dish. I like to mix up the Filipino-Mexican a lot. I did do a special a couple years ago with this on the side, and it had like ube mashed potatoes, and I
Oh,
had I'm forgetting what it was, but I had it served with something that was kind of Mexican infused also.
mm,
But this year is our 10-year anniversary. We're starting to work on a lot of specials,
yeah,
and I'm gonna be in the kitchen a lot, kind of just like just working on new things. I think not only we want to do new things, but I think Senior Sisig, all the fans out there deserve new stuff to kind of look forward to every week. If it's daily
yeah.
specials or if it's weekly specials, I think it's a good thing.
Oh, that's exciting. That's exciting.
So you're gonna leave this for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go ahead and turn around back so we can make a spicy garlic vinegar dipping sauce.
Oh, yum. Wow, so 10-year anniversary. That's a big milestone.
Yeah, pretty big. I mean,
Yeah.
it just went by pretty quick, and I think with the support of our team, the support of everybody that's been supporting us out there, I think again we're planning to go 10 years more and another 10 years, and it's not stopping here. So
Yeah.
again,
We
thanks for all the support.
yeah, we hope so. I mean, you guys have a couple of taco trucks. You guys are or trucks.
Hmm.
You guys are in East Bay too, right? In San Francisco too?
Yeah, we have a location, a food truck location, actually slash pop up here over here in Oakland. It's in 17th and Webster for
Okay.
lunch and dinner.
Okay.
Um, we're actually serving in the Spice Monkey restaurant. Shout out to Spice Monkey, and it's been a good spot for us. And again, we're trying different places right now that are kind of letting us serve, so we could not only feed the masses, but kind of just see what Oakland is about.
Yeah.
And me and Evan both live in Oakland, so we have a strong support on this side.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So I'm curious about your 10-year specials.
Yeah, I
Do you
mean,
have any,
there's a
do you
lot of
have
things
any kind
going
of
on.
do you have any kind of previews or things that you're thinking about trying out?
Well, there's a lot of things, and I don't want to give it all out now. I think stay tuned. We did release some of the bandanas that people saw that are on sale right now. We did release the DAP collaboration with the gold-blooded shirt. So there's a lot of things going on. I think you could pay attention to our website or social media. We do a lot of stuff on the stories. So I think that's the best way that we could keep people tuned in is kind of look at our stories, keep searching for new stuff, and we're going to keep on working on the back end.
Yeah, and I think for all the folks, it's really great because it's not only supporting Senior Sisig or one of our local favorites, but it's also
Yeah.
supporting the artists on the back end who are also helping to create the products and who are kind of working in collaboration with you. So to the extent that you can, let's try to support each other.
Yeah, we support a lot of local people and a lot of local businesses support us. So again, win-win all around. That's what we're
Yeah,
about. I think with this pandemic, it just shows how people can come together and not only, as a business, you can't just stay in your lane. You got to reach
yeah,
out and kind of, talk to people and ask for kind of like, let's work together and let's get through this.
yeah. Well, so some of your fans here are saying that they love the sound of that frying sound.
Yeah, it's so soothing and healthy and it's perfect for this weather. I mean, it's super light, and I don't want to bash on the dish. And of course, deep fried is a wonderful thing, not necessarily, you know, always a guilty pleasure, but something I've eaten this a lot growing up. My grandmother used to make this for lunch, and a little bit different. I always like to change stuff up, but again, it's something that means a lot to me, and it means a lot to my family. So that's why I decided to use this dish.
Oh,
And let's work on the dipping sauce. This is basically sugarcane vinegar.
mm,
I have some chopped garlic here, and this is fresh garlic. Some red onions, and I have some Thai chilies here. And for you people that don't like spicy stuff, you don't have to put this in. You could just use black pepper, but I do like it spicy, and a lot of the dishes, not including Senior Sisig, use jalapenos, but Thai chilies is really good with vinegar.
yeah. And Thai chilies are super hot too, so a little goes a
Yeah,
long way too, right?
I mean, yeah, the vinegar kind of breaks it down a little bit,
Mm,
um, and I think it's perfect because if you're kind of scared of the Thai chilies, just don't scoop that onto the fritter. I'm
yeah.
gonna put a little salt and pepper in there just for flavor.
Okay. hard to find the sugarcane vinegar you were just talking about?
No, in any Asian store, and I can show you guys the bottle.
Oh, okay. I've seen that.
And I got some prepared already just to speed up the process, and you can see the finished product.
So Chef Gil,
Yeah.
Bald 1644 asked you, where's the rice?
Oh, you know it's in the back in the recipe roll. All I got to do is warm it up.
Can't have no rice, man. Whoa.
So here's the finished product. I'm going to play it for you guys.
Wow. That looks great.
So you can see all of the bean sprouts, the carrots kind of crisp up.
Wow.
And I'm going to garnish it with a little bit of the green onions. And you have your dipping sauce right here.
Wow.
What I like to do is, like, if, you know, you could spoon it in there also like this, or you could just break it. And you can see the shrimp in there, the carrots,
Wow.
the sprouts. And I just like to pour a little bit of the vinegar in there with the Thai chili.
Wow, that looks
Yeah, see that?
so good. Yeah, that looks so good. Take a bite out of it, Chef Gil, because you're the only one who gets to right now. We want to
All
see
right, for sure.
it. Oh, yeah. That looks good.
Let me flip these guys before they burn.
Man, so your wife is going to get to eat all of that right now, huh?
Yeah, she's my co-producer, co-food taster right now, and she's working the tripod and
Is she
helping
behind the
me out.
camera?
Yeah, she is. She can come say hi.
Yeah, say hi.
I can't hear them.
That's okay. Just say hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thanks for helping.
Yeah. So yeah, that's our finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Super easy. You know, I think the hardest part is deep frying, and you know, of course, I want everyone to be safe. And if you're not comfortable deep frying or hot oil, you know, just take your time and definitely, you know, shoot me a DM if you guys have any questions about the dish, and I'll help you guys as much as I can.
So, I mean, for all of us here who are watching, it's awesome to be able to be invited into your kitchen, because a lot of times we kind of go to these like favorite places, but you don't ever get to know like the person behind the scenes. And so I think it's really awesome to be able to see what you're kind of up to in your own kitchen, to hear about your plans for Señor Sisig. But, you know, for me, I think it's also just really inspiring to hear about all the good stuff that you're doing to help the community too. So I want to just thank you for doing that and for helping people who are in need right now, and for your family for doing that. And so for everybody who wants to continue to support good businesses and good people, I hope that you'll continue to support Señor Sisig, but by not only ordering, but potentially also really supporting that foundation, so that we can continue to help people who are really in need right now during COVID-19. So Chef Gil, last words, and then tell us again where we can find your website and your handle.
So our website is www.senorsisig, that's SENORSISIG.com. All their information we have over there, from the donations to like media stuff, our bios. We also have a restaurant in San Francisco. It's in 19th and Valencia. It's 990 Valencia Street in San Francisco. We're open 7 days a week from 11 to 9. Right now we're doing walk-ups, deliveries, and order ahead. And you can also go on the website with that. And I want to thank you, Carmen, for kind of inviting me. And I like doing stuff like this. I know I don't have too much time doing this out of the business. We're super busy, but it's a good outlet for me. I think everyone's should be, you know, appreciative of like doing something a little bit different and seeing something like this on the feed.
Yeah, and I think everyone wants to hear your story and they want to know you. So don't be surprised if now all of a sudden you get people who like knock on your door or say hello to you and say, "Hey, Chef Gil, I saw you on Instagram." So yeah,
for sure. Good thing I didn't release my address, so it should be good.
Well, thank you again for everything. And then for everybody else, just don't be worried. We're going to send the recipe out and make sure that we share that. And then again, Chef Gil has been generous to say that if you've got any questions, you can feel free to hit him up and he'll help to clarify. So thank you everybody for joining us for this Cooking with Carmen, and we'll see you again next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.